Hello Young Justice fans, Dark Superboy here again with another video based on our favourite superhero series. Today I will be discussing 5 potential cons of having another multi-year time jump between seasons 3 and 4. Let's begin. Okay, before we start, I would like to discuss something that happened to me in real life last week, and that is I managed to save the life of a guy who was choking to death on a piece of steak at a restaurant. I'm not doing this for self-gratitude or you guys praise. I'm just saying this to get it out there. I was the only one of about 20 people in the restaurant who knew what to do. Because I'm not talking about, oh, I have a piece of steak lodged in, cough, 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 get it out. I mean, he was proper choking, clawing at his throat, mucus going everywhere, and slowly turning blue. So I rushed over to them, free held wax on his back, nothing, so had to lift him up and do the proper Heimlich on him. So yeah, that was interesting to say the least. But if you guys don't know how to do the Heimlich, I would suggest you learn it, because it is very, very traumatic seeing someone choke themselves to death. But if you can learn something that will probably take you 5 minutes to do and save a person's life, it's kind of worth it. Imagine if it was happening to your friends or family member, you would want to know what to do, right? So please just look it up online, just like 5 minutes of your time to learn how to do it. You could save a life just like I did. So that's my public service announcement for this video. Moving on, 5 cons of having a multi-year time jump. Yeah, I know it seems like you couldn't be able to come up with 5 cons of doing it, but you can. So let's get started. Number 5, Batgirl 2.0. Now, so far we've had a season jump of 5 years and a season jump of 2 years. So there isn't much information to go on averages. 3.5 if you just do the maths for these two, but again, that's 2. You can't go with an average of 2 as a reliable source. So it could be a few years, and unfortunately that means we are going to miss out on the development of a certain Cassandra Cain, my favourite Batgirl, from Orphan to Batgirl. And the reason why she was my favourite is because of her difficulties in not only as a person, but her physical learning difficulties of not being able to read and not being able to speak. And for personal reasons, that is a very good connection to me. And it should have been something in this season. Yes, we've had a lot of people coming over struggles of genetics in the form of getting superpowers, but to be honest, that doesn't actually have much real world connection as somebody with a physical, mental disorder that can happen in real life, and them getting over it and becoming such an amazing icon for and inspiration for so many people. So yeah, unfortunately we're going to miss out that, and we're going to miss out the character development of Oracle and Orphan learning, which wasn't really covered in the new comic lines, but it was a great one pre-New 52. So yeah, we're going to miss out on that. Number 4, wedding bells. Unfortunately, it looks like we'll be missing out on Miss Marsh and Superboy's wedding, because they were already engaged for over a year now, around a year, during season 3. And because of all the good happy endings with the defeat of Granny Goodness, liberation of all the meta teens, the Mark Kirby incident didn't go as well as expected, but still it got resolved and they were all having a nice time. It seemed unreasonable for them to not go ahead with the wedding, particularly if Superman's back as the best man. So if we're having a multi-year time jump, it is most likely we're going to be missing out on the wedding. We might be also be missing out on the discussion of whether or not Miss Martian and Superboy can actually have kids. I don't know of the genetic possibilities of that. You've got Connor being a half human, half Kryptonian and a clone, and Miss Martian being a Martian. Whether or not her genetic shape-shifting abilities would give them the ability to actually conceive a child. I have no idea, but if no, we're probably going to miss out on the sadness of them not being able to raise a family either. So that's something else of character development wise we would miss, and I would miss. So yeah. Number 3, Artemis moving on. As many people who watch my channel know, I'm a massive Spitfire fan, and one particular episode that you know off the top of your head of Artemis having talking with Wally and moving on in the form of possibly starting new relationships means that she would go out there and start new relationships. Again, with a multi-year time jump, we're not going to see that happen. We're not going to see those awkward first dates. We're not going to see fledgling relationship possibly become something more after all that time. We're not going to see Artemis talking about Wally to the next interest, which is, again, something I would have liked to see. But, again, we're not going to see it if it's a multi-year time jump. Yeah, I'm sorry that there is some good news at the end of this video. Don't worry, I'm not trying to bring out the downer for everyone. But pressing on. Number 2, death. As any good Young Justice fan knows, death hangs around the corner for every season and between every season as well. In season 1, we had Ken Nelson die directly. Between season 1 and 2, we had Tula, Blue Beetle, and Jason Todd die. In season 2 itself, we had Wally die. Between seasons 2 and 3, did we have anyone die between that time? Give me a second. I can't remember one off the top of my head. I'll flash one up here if I can think of one during my video edit, but nothing. I don't think anyone majorly died between that time. Season 3, a lot of people died. Ocean Master died. Beyond actually killed someone in the final episodes. So Jay Garrick's wife died, unfortunately, as well. So yeah, death hangs around, and if we see a multi-year time jump, it is most likely people are going to die in that time as well. Hopefully not Jay Garrick due to his speedster healing factor, but he is putting on into his 90s. Professor Ivo is pushing on in late ages as well, so he could bite the dust as well. I mean, did we actually see him in season 3? We saw a robot of him. I don't think we actually know if he's alive. But yes, that's something else we could be seeing death or not seeing in this regard. And on to our final one, number 1. Boost in the roster. Now, I know this sounds like a strange con, but I love the series as a whole, but the one flaw I have with it is that they keep increasing the roster size without actually explaining how the roster got bigger in the teams. Yes, I know there are some simple ones of subplots of Stephanie Brown from Spoiler, who was kidnapped in season 2, became inspired to become Spoiler, or Arrowhead in season 1 when her dad got saved by Artemis and Green Arrow, and Artemis, as a blonde archer, inspired her to become Arrowhead. Yes, Static and a few of the other teens from season 2. They got onto season 3, but we didn't see the origins of how Orphan got in there or how Agent 13 got in there. I would like to see the development of how these heroes came to be. And if the comic series was still going on, we probably would have seen them. But I just like, with the meta teens at the health center, they will probably be inspired to become heroes, and therefore they would be joining the team on maybe a temporary basis before going on to a full-time situation. Again, multiple year jumps, that is bound to probably happen. And it just kind of takes away from the characters that we've been loving over the season. We have been focusing a lot more on season 1 characters season 3 than we did in season 2, and I love that, and hopefully that continues with season 4. But if it's a young teen series, the original guys are now into their 20s, some of them approaching their 30s, well, with the exception of Connor, who is 12 or so. And I think that just takes away from it, that we're seeing so many heroes added to the roster, but we don't actually understand how or why they're on the team. Yeah, but those are my 5 cons for a multi-year time jump. But have no fear. Next week, I will be doing 5 pros for a multi-year time jump between seasons 3 and 4. So stay tuned for that one, or subscribe if you've liked this video to see the next one. Leave your comments below on what you think of any possible cons I've missed out, or what you think of the cons that I've listed in this video. I've been Dark Boy. This has been a video on Young Justice. Please like, comment and subscribe. And as always, let hope burn bright. Bye.